the champions.
And we're live.
What's up, THL? I'm Cassidy14. The stream's hosted by Parker number 1, and we've also got our other favorite new time host, future permanent host, C. Parker, the anarchist himself. We're missing Mange. Rumor on the street is that his organ donor finally came through, and he is receiving a hand transplant. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm hanging in there.
So we're at the ultimate week. THL's regular season is going to wrap up this weekend. And before we dive too far into that, I want to brief everybody on our great drinking rules. We have subscribers now. We have a sub button here at THL. So every time we get a subscriber, we ask that you take a drink. We're going to have a playoff picture power hour. So every time someone mentions a team, you should take a swig there. And of course, anytime you feel the need, take a drink for Hearthstone, which is the best game of all time that we all love so much. So I guess we'll dive into our Week 8 review. We had some key matches. The playoff picture was definitely affected by what went on last week. And one of those matches came between Prep Coin Concede and Initium Novum. We talked last week about Prep Coin Concede kind of being out of the picture, needing to do a lot of crazy stuff. And they came out and beat Novum 14-10 and put Novum really far back into the playoff race. And Prep Coin Concede jumped up quite a bit. Parker, what kind of went on here?
Yeah, it looks like Chigmo got swept by Wolfmac. Tan and Grace swept Blue Spartan. Eldorian beat Appa 3-2. Necrotic fell to Arcane 2-3, and Gemini swept Starden. So putting up 14 points for Prep Coin Concede was really big for them, as they now have a chance to slide into the playoffs. They need a little bit of help, but they could easily slide in with playing Supreme this week. And spoiler alert, they're already up 8-2, so they're off to a really good start this week. And Novum, I don't know, they're so hit or miss. I'm pretty sure that team's been hit or miss since its conception, and they kind of missed.
Yeah, Wolfmac's been carrying them. Wolfmac has had a great season this season, and the bottom four is just struggling to pick up a couple wins for them in some of the tougher matchups. Initium Novum really needed this week, or Week 8, to kind of keep playoffs in their own hands, whereas now it's kind of like, even if they do have a really good week, other things have to happen for them to get in.
Yeah. So what do you guys feel about their chances going into the playoffs? They play Team Rank 5, who's currently winning their division. So if Novum puts up a really good week, you would think they're going to get in, right?
Well, you would.
Maybe.
The thing is Prep Coin Concedes plays Supreme, which is at the bottom of red, and Aeon plays the Hombres, who is at the bottom of blue.
Bottom of the league.
Bottom of the league, yeah. So it's unlikely that they're going to, right now, Initium Novum's, 2 and 3 points off the playoffs. Given they score a really high point week, they need both of them to have really bad weeks. And I just don't see that happening. Maybe one of them, but both of them having really bad weeks, I just don't see it happen. I think Novum lost out on their shot at the playoffs in Week 8.
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense. They need a lot of help from two teams that aren't likely to give them help, and they have to beat up on a really good team to get there. So it's probably about a 5% chance that Initium Novum gets in at this point. Yeah, they're really just playing spoiler, I guess.
It's small, but on the other side, what do you think about Prep Coin Concede's chances to get in from here? They are, if the playoff started right now, they would be 1 point out, and they play Supreme this week, and they have the tiebreaker over Aeon.
So they'd have to be the third team from blue.
Yeah.
And they would have to pass Aeon by one. They believe they have the tie over Aeon.
Yeah, so they just have to have the same point total.
So they're going to need someone on the Hombres to get a win in one match. And if they put up a 20-point week, and they're in over Aeon.
Yep.
And then they also need Initium Novum to do well against Team Rank 5.
Mm-hmm. Or yeah.
I
or
would
the-
actually argue that might be the most likely outcome.
Novum doesn't even have to Novum doesn't even have to win. They just have to keep it close.
The only thing they have to do, they just have to pass Aeon, and unless Team Rank 5 puts up like a 0, even then I don't think it would matter. They just pretty much have to pass Aeon.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a scenario where they pass Aeon and they still don't get in.
It'd have to be.
Oh yeah, we're wrong. Yeah, that's definitely wrong. Aeon has the tiebreaker over Novum.
No, it's over Prep Queen Concede.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
that's
played week
right.
6.
Yeah, I don't know what
Over week
chat's talking
6.
about. Yeah, we need Prep Coin Concede to tie them. Novum's not getting in.
Yeah. Novum's like definitely on the
Novum's
outside.
pretty
We're
much
talking
out.
about Prep Coin Concede here.
But
Sorry,
yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
chat and I got confused.
But yeah. That,
Yeah, and Prep Coin Concede did beat Initium, or they did beat Aeon,
Aeon.
so they have the tiebreaker. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would argue that might be the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
we
When we
see
get
3
to the
teams
playoff
from blue.
preview, you'll see that's a fairly likely outcome.
It's so close. It's so close.
Yeah,
One
it's coming
point
right
off.
down to the wire.
Yeah, definitely exciting for the people trying to sneak in into the playoffs there.
Yeah. It's definitely
So
an
what's our-
exciting race.
What's our next matchup in the weekend review?
Oh man, this one's sad. We dedicated the theme of a whole show to Zenergy, saying X gonna give it to you, just jamming out, and they just go and fall flat on their face against Hearthstone Academy. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Hearthstone Academy puts up 16, takes the win. X didn't give it to anyone.
So
X didn't do so hot.
So now that we saw that, does this concern? If the playoffs started right now, Synergy would be in, but they're only in by 4 points, and the team 4 points behind them is, in fact, HSA, who they just lost to, so they do not have the tiebreaker over. Are you concerned going forwards if you're Synergy?
Oh, you have to be concerned. And Zenergy this week plays. I believe they play ATL.
They play NWA.
Yeah, they play.
They play NWA.
And
Nobody
H-
knows how to spoil like NWA.
Yep, and
And-
HSA plays ATL.
HSA plays ATL. Synergy's already lost one match too. Dexter lost 1-3 to Dreaded, which that alone could be the difference in points needed for HSA to claw their way up.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold out on hope here that Zenergy finds a way in, but they definitely blew the opportunity to just seal it last week against HSA.
They
And now
definitely
HSA
did.
is
Yes.
climbing.
Mm-hmm.
That was their chance to just lock HSA out and secure themselves a guaranteed spot, and they kind of fell flat.
And that's why they're the defending champs, and we haven't seen Zenergy in the playoffs since I don't even know if I was legally allowed to drink the last time I saw Zenergy in the playoffs.
Since Moby Dick was a minnow.
And yeah, Hearthstone Academy did a really good job too in their losses, managing to get the 2 points in each one. Every point counts, especially this late. Sage and Bork, even though they lost, they managed to managed to take it to 5 games, which those 4 points are huge.
Yep. So on the flip side of the coin, if you're HSA, what do you think your chances of getting in from here are? You're 4 points out. You play ATL, who's kind of struggling. They're actually having a pretty solid season themselves, though. And you've got the tiebreaker of energy, but you gotta make up 4 points.
Whew. Yeah, I'm looking at this matchup just this week. They're favored in most places except the 3 and the 4 seed. So they're favored to win the match. And Arcturus can surprise you and just take down anybody. I mean, he's subbing in the 3. I don't know. I think their chances look okay here.
Yeah, so do I.
They definitely control their own destiny. We'll say that.
they need a little bit of help from Synergy, but they kind of already got it with Dexter already falling to Dreaded.
Yeah, they if they have to feel good. If they put up a good week, they should get in. One would think, and that's where you want to be the last week of the season is controlling your own destiny. So I'm sure they're feeling good.
Yeah, I agree. It in my looking at the matchups that they need to win, I think they've got they match up really well against ATL. I think the even bigger deal is the way NWA matches up with Synergy. I think NWA matches up really favorably against Synergy right now. So I think ultimately HSA won't have to do they won't have to pull out a 20 or 18-point week. I think they could probably get in with even something like a 16-point week. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we move on to our last key match here. We have Valkyrie destroying ATL 19-9.
Yeah.
And you would think this puts Valkyrie in the playoffs. If you're a betting man, anyway.
Yeah, this puts Valkyrie 6 points ahead of Xenergy, and then they'd have to fall down even below them, because that would still have them in. So they're basically 10 points ahead of HSA, who's the team would have to steal their spot. So yeah, they just have to show up at all this week, and they'll slide in.
And you would think this condemns ATL to the cellar of the green division.
Yeah, they're 16 points behind being, or 10 points behind being in for the third spot. So Xenergy or HSA both would have to fall face first this week, and ATL plays HSA, so that helps with that if they would run the table. But then they still have to have Xenergy just fall completely flat against NWA.
Can we judge ATL's season? Their first season in the league. They're going to put up 115, 120 points in 9 weeks.
No, they're at 112 right now. They'll
I
probably
would
get
think
up.
they exceeded expectations, even though they are going to go.
If you told me they had 120 points going into the season, I would have said that's an incredible season.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So congrats to them. Good season.
Yeah, they'd be fighting. They're just a smidge out of playoffs in both divisions. They'd be. I'm just looking at it now. They'd be 5 or 6 points behind Aeon. They're and they're 10 points behind Xenergy now. They kind of got stuck in a really tough green division.
Yeah.
But they would have, they still technically do have a shot. They're not mathematically out. And they did get a win already. Or wait, no. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Defies.
Yeah, they haven't played match yet,
but yeah, I would be really proud of that first season.
Yeah, especially since most teams come in their first season and you see them hanging out. I know they're in the bottom of their division, but they're in the top, around 10th or 11th overall in the league, somewhere in that range.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a season.
I would definitely label them a team to watch going into next season. I don't know what their cap situation is, but I'm pretty sure they're under it, so they can bring everyone back.
Especially since going from ladder to THL, especially if you don't have a lot of competitive experience, even if you do, THL is a steep learning curve coming in.
All right, we moved to the playoff preview.
Oh, playoff preview, PogChamp.
Last week we gave you guys kind of vague predictions. We gave you little, I guess we just tiered teams a little bit. This week we are making full-fledged what we predict the playoffs are going to look like a week from now. So we have the 4 teams that we have getting in, and we have them seeded in each division. Now remember, winning your division only guarantees you get into the playoffs. It does not give you anything in terms of seeding. So you can win your division and be the number 4 team in that part of the bracket. So I guess I'll start us off here. Blue-red, I have Temporal Legends winning the conference. I think that's a foregone conclusion. Dirty Mike's 5 points behind, but Temporal Legends has just been out in front the whole way. I have Dirty Mike as a close second. I have Aeon third, winning the red division, overtaking Team Rank 5. And I've got Prep Coin Concede sliding in, taking Team Rank 5 right out of the playoff picture.
Yeah,
After those 2 DQs last week, there is nothing we deserve more than to get eliminated.
you have TR5 on your thing, so was that a last-minute change?
Yes, I changed my mind. We had the screenshot done, and I said, nope, I'm not sticking to it. So Team Rank 5 is out. That's how I officially feel.
XD, perfect.
As for the other conference, got Team Golden Wisp, who also has been running out in front from the beginning, and that one is done and over. They are going to win that conference. I have Swagoy coming in second, and that's going to happen because I have Valkyrie falling completely out of the picture. I think they're going to choke. They're just going to gag on one and find a way out. You're going to have Zenergy and HSA slide up and in.
Now that's a prediction.
That's a prediction, boys.
That's a prediction. That
Okay.
is okay.
They're going to get entropied.
Oh, feels entropy, man. Okay. So mine, I have Temporal Legends also, taking the 1 seed, kind of out in front by a lot. Dirty Mike holding on for second, having a hell of a first season. I have Team Rank 5 sliding in, having a solid week against Novum this week, winning our division and sliding in third. And then I have Aeon falling flat this week. I think Hombres come in clutch, and Prep Coin Concede slides in with their free win against Supreme.
It's worth noting that on the Hombres last year, I'm pretty sure we spoiled at least one team's playoffs hopes.
Yeah,
They know how to do it.
Murdoch knows about the spoiler. I believe in Murdoch and Brunson over there. And the opposite division, I have Team Golden Wisp, who's been out in front since go. I agree with Cassidy, and I have Swagboy sliding in second there. I have X going to give it to you, coming through, and finally giving it to anyone, please. And I have Valkyrie holding on to the last playoff spot over there.
Okay. Let's go through mine real quick. I have my team, Temporal Legends, winning blue. We could fall. We could flip with Dirty Mike if we lose this week by 5 points. But I have us 1, Dirty Mike 2, Team Rank 5 at the 3 seed, holding out in their division. I had Aeon down, and then I flipped back to Prep Coin Concede, and I have such a hard time picking here. But I'm gonna go back again and say Aeon sneaks in. I'm not gonna give it up to Brunson and Murdoch. Hopefully for Prep Coin Concede's sake, they can if Prep Coin Concede wants to get in. But I think Aeon's gonna win it. They've got the point lead right now, so they just have to win out, and they can do that easily against the Hombres.
I'd like to clarify. I don't think the Hombres win that series. I think they win a match. A match.
And I think all against Supreme.
And I think Prep Coin Concede sweeps through Supreme and wins.
And that includes the 5 seed beating Drew Man.
Yeah.
Gemini beating Drew Man. Yeah.
Oh, that's very doable.
That seems.
Did she beat Boom Boom Hall earlier?
She absolutely did.
Yeah, there you go.
She's got it in her, but let's see if I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I think Aeons wins 4 out of 5. I think one Hombre comes through and spoils. Not the whole lineup, just one.
Yeah, part of me wants to give it to Prep Coin Concede because I saw they had already won 2 matches, namely Cheesy lost. But I don't know. I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna take Aeon. We'll get them in there. I think DD beats Necrotic, and that's what I think is gonna keep Prep Coin Concede out. That's the matchup that I'm like, I don't see Prep Coin Concede winning. DD's a god. So let's move on to Green Purple. Team Golden West number 1. That's obvious. Swagaway number 2. We're all in agreement there. I think Valkyrie will hold on to the 3 seed, and then I have HSA sneaking in. I think they're going to pass up Valkyrie this week.
You think X doesn't give it to anyone again?
I don't think X is going to give it to anyone again.
Damn.
X going to keep it from you.
They've already lost 1 match, and I just don't think they match up well with who they play this week. So Yeah, I'm giving it to HSA. I think they're going to have this weak surge. They're going to pull the old New York Giants, sneak in, and then maybe even do work in the playoffs. We'll see.
All right, so that's it for the playoff preview. That's where we think. Feel free to yell at us next week when none of that happens. Anything we just said happens. We'll actually have everything wrong.
I mean, we do that a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're pretty good at it. So, like, if we said your team isn't going to make it, just thank us next week when you slide right in. All right, so week 9 preview. We got Team Rank 5 playing Initium Novum as the first match we're previewing. Initium Novum needing to have a very big week not because they're so far out that they can't make it, but because we know Aeon is playing Hombres and Prepcoin Concede is playing Supreme. So that means they need to not only beat Team Rank 5, they need to beat Team Rank 5 going away almost.
Or if they just want to, knock us out, they just got to beat us.
Yeah, I mean, they could play spoiler, but I'm talking about if they want in, they need to win going away.
Yeah, that's true.
Like 4 out of 5 for sure.
Yeah, they would have to win really big to do that. Honestly, looking at the list here, I don't know. I don't think there's a way. I keep looking at this, and I keep looking at Prepcoin Conceded, and I don't think there's a way in.
No, there's probably not.
Prepcoin Concede's already got 8 points.
Yeah.
Aeon's playing number. I just don't see it. They could score 23 points, and I still don't think they'd make it in.
It would definitely help,
man. I mean, they might as well just not submit classes. Am I right?
I mean, a lot of them already have, unfortunately. Feels bad, man. But, starting if you want to, go outside and play some soccer till midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
so
do we think of the matchups here?
Well, Parker's got to play the 7-1 Wolfpack.
Mm-hmm.
Smoked Salmon has to play Blue Spartan, where he is unfavored in PR and in terms of actually playing Hearthstone and or building decks.
Or, just playing his match.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to get off the Witcher in order to score points, and that's a tall task for Smoked Salmon.
Luckily, he beat the game. Whew.
We've got Appa, who is a prelim player. I get to play against him. That one feels great, let me tell you. Jesus over Arcane, that's going to be a really good match. And whoever wins is going to talk about it a lot. And Rogue JT versus Start, and you would think Rogue wins that one. So, I don't know. I'm of the belief that Team Rank 5 is actually in a little bit of trouble. I don't think we're getting into the playoffs. I don't see us winning 2 more on top of Rogue. I think Jesus can get there, and then I think the top 3. I just don't like any of those matchups.
Me neither.
So that's not a good look for Team Rank 5. Couple of DQs. We deserve to just get rolled over this week.
Didn't Rogue lose to Start in an SHL?
Yeah, but Rogue can't beat anyone in SHL.
Yeah, Rogue is actually like a 40 PR SHL player. I've never seen someone so bad at that format.
You're talking to one. I'm 2-5. Did awful this season. But yeah, so Starden's gonna. I wonder if Starden's gonna bust out that road deck we saw last week.
Oh yeah, that was the funky rogue deck. That's right.
Yeah, with the obsidian shards.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one. That was a good.
Oh yeah, they're good meme. Rogue got swept by that deck.
Rogue comes back and he goes. He comes in Discord and he's like, I don't even know what I lost to. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, Obsidian Shard Rogue just swept me. I was like, oh god, you are actually the worst SHL player of all time.
Yeah, so Starden's had a good season. His PR is really low because he came in really low, but he's been pretty solid. Rogue's just a god in the 5 seed, so I'm give him the edge. But Starden has some upset potential there. So I don't know. I think Parker's gonna play MVP race killer on Wolfpack.
Oh, that's the plan.
Yeah, I
don't even care about the team getting in the playoffs. I just want to spoil someone else's fun.
Exactly. I think Parker gets there. We know Salmon's not doing anything against Blue Spartan.
Probably play Andromeda.
Yeah. Cassidy, no offense, but you're gonna lose.
Damn right I am.
Attaboy.
And then I think Jesus and Rogue will clean it up. I think Parker's the matchup y'all need to win.
Well, I crack under pressure every time, so that's a no.
All right, let's move on to our next key matchup, and that is Defias against Valkyrie.
Yeah, Valkyrie really needs to have a good week this week. They're 6 points up, but they could easily get spoiled on here by HSA having a big week against ATL, who has nothing to play for other than spoilers, or Zenergy having a really big week against, and Zenergy having a really big week against NWA again, who has almost nothing to play for other than spoilers. What do you guys feel about this matchup? How do you think it goes?
Well, GNet's already got the win over Slimsh.
Yeah, that's huge.
And Valkyrie needed that matchup.
Valkyrie, that's a big one. That's a heart, a shot to the heart.
Yeah, we can go ahead and fill in an L next to Lemur's name. I can say that because I can say that because I played on a team with him. No, he has a decent shot against AO. AO's he was a really solid 5 seed last season, and then he's moved up to the 4 and has kind of struggled there. I forget exactly what his record is, but I know he's been kind of middle because his PR hasn't dropped too much, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I think if D Lineman can pull it out, I think they still have a shot. I think Crackshot can get there, and JR Juggernaut's a decent player, and he's not bringing Warlock, so.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have said the same thing about Slimsh playing G-Nets.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he
not bringing Warlock.
Almost the same lineup. Hockey Boys, we know he likes to build wacky decks. And if you're like a meta deck player, but not super involved in Hearthstone overall, like I'm assuming Juggernaut is, because I think a lot of 3 seeds are like that, you lose to wacky decks because you don't know what the hell's in them and you don't know how to play against them. And you're not good enough in the meta and like omnipotent enough to like play around everything. I could totally see Hockey Boys winning that in just like the craziest of fashions. I do think Lemur's going to lose, and I think Crackshot's going to win. So maybe Valkyrie scrapes together enough points, but I'm telling you, man, you're going to wake up shocked on Monday morning and see that Valkyrie missed. Has Parker gone MIA?
No, sorry, my bad. All right. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I could see it happening now that Slimsh fell. Slimsh is kind of like the linchpin to that whole team, He just, that's Mr. THL himself. Him falling really hurts. The bottom part of their roster scares me. Like the JR Juggernaut against Hockey Boys, that's scary for them. And Lemur always scares the shit out of me, so. But I'd like to think between D Lineman and Crackshot, they can pull enough points to hold their playoff hopes alive.
I think they get there.
Yeah, Crackshot's not falling short. That's a Smoke Salmon prodigy himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think I don't think they need a ton of points. I don't think Synergy is going to put on enough pressure behind them to need a ton of points. And they've got a 10-point buffer between Hearthstone Academy, so they need to fall really hard for them to fall completely out of the playoffs. I think they still get there. I think they might lose this matchup. I think it'll be close, though.
Yeah. All right, so next matchup. Who do we got next? We got HSA versus ATL. HSA, currently, if the playoffs were to start right now, they are 4 points out, with a tiebreaker over the team that they're 4 points behind, being Zerengy. So they need a big week this week. How do you see this shaking down, Cassidy?
I think they are going to get their big week. I think Brewski wins. I think Blue Sombrero wins. I think Zemus wins, and I could see Arcturus pulling it out as well. So I think they're at minimum getting 3, and I think they could get 4. I don't see Bork winning though. Sorry, Bork.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think they'll get 4. I think all 4 can win. The 1, the 2, the 3, and the 5. I think Arcturus can sub in and win. He's like deceptionally good. Deceptionally, whatever. English.
I think HSA has the potential to get a 23-point week here.
Yeah,
I think they're favored
okay.
almost everywhere. Bork's, kind of a question mark. He is a lot lower in PR. I think Arcturus is going to take it against Blake Hall. I think Brewski and Blusenberger get there, and Zemus. So Bork's really the only question mark that I think the other 4 will win. Arcturus coming off of his Wicked Wednesday win. So I think he's feeling pretty good, enjoying some Hearthstone, hopefully, and I think he'll get there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they get in too. I think X falls flat. X feels bad, man. X ain't giving it to anyone.
All right, we were given this week's PPR. I don't want to dive in too much because I want people to click and read that article, but I think it'd be fair to just kind of run down the names. So we'll go bottom to top here. Number 7 is the prodigy himself, Crackshot. He's 6-2 on the season.
What a god.
Number 6, we have a surprising one here after a horrible loss he had early in the season. We've got Boom Boom Hall. He is 6-2 on the season, despite losing to Asana week 1. We've got WW Los at 5. He's also 6-2 as a 1 seed. That's really good. MV Parker is 6-2, also a 1 seed. Above him, we have Sunshine in 3rd. He is 6-2. He's also had a big season for Golden Wisp. Number 2, we have the 3rd Golden Wisp player in the player power ranking, and that is the Fly Slay. He's 7-1. He's been dominant. And on top, we will have the number 1 and number 4 players playing against each other this week, as Wolfmac, according to the PPR, is the current frontrunner to win MVP. So, what do you guys think about this?
Firstly, I want to say is shout out to Mark Shire for doing this because I was supposed to help him in the past 2 weeks. I've kind of not.
Attaboy.
Been busy, and he's a champ. He puts a lot of work into it. One thing to note: it's only a 7-player list. He says there were 23 other people with 5 wins, so it doesn't make sense to pick and choose from those. Just go read it. Go take a look at it. I'm surprised by Boom Boom Hall being here after his opening week, but he's doing really good work this season. Parker sucks. He shouldn't be on here.
True.
And lastly, just the core of Team Golden Wisp, looking at their record, is really amazing. I think that's the biggest takeaway from a 7-player power rankings. 3 of them are from one team. That's really, really well done. Like they've crushed it. Not much more to say than that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so being the incredibly great host I am, probably the best this show's ever seen, I didn't post a Q&A. So if you guys would like to stop spamming for like 5 seconds, and if you have any questions relevant whatsoever, feel free to ask them and we will get to them. While you guys are posting your questions, we're going to talk about the Quest Rogue nerfs and what you think about them. Casty, start us off. What do you think about the Quest Rogue nerfs?
Yeah, so on the surface, people will say that, oh, it's not that hard. You only have to bounce 1 more card. But I think that's actually a big deal. I think this nerf is going to hit the deck pretty hard, and I don't expect you're going to see this deck at high ranks anymore. Because I played a little bit of the deck when it first came out, and there are games where you just don't draw your bounces, and you barely get there to complete your quests, and you still lose anyway. So now those games become instant losses, and just finding 4 bounce cards to bounce the same target with it surviving and maintain tempo on the board so that your opponent doesn't kill you by the time you complete the quest. I don't see it. I think it's clearly a worse deck than Miracle Rogue from here. And I'm trying to think how I would use it in a conquest set, and you would really want to use Quest Rogue to target control decks, but I think Miracle Rogue does that better anyway. So I actually think it's just going to be out of the meta.
Yeah, I tend to agree. You have to find 4 of your 6 bounces. Or, I mean, 5 of your 6 bounces now. You have both the Pandas and Shadow Steps. And, like, I don't think you can fit any more bounces in there. Like, what else? Can you play, like, the big Panda? 4-mana ones? Like, I don't know. Finding 5 out of 6 and then playing the quest, that seems like it's just going to take too long and you're going to die.
I agree. It's going to be really tough. I think people are going to test around with a second Igneous Elemental. Possibly going for the Fireflies there. But I don't know. I just look at this and think pretty much what Cassidy said. It's just going to be a worse version of Miracle Rogue. At least Miracle Rogue can sneak out wins against other decks, just like Quest Rogue could. But man, the 5th bounce is going to be so hard to pull off. I'm trying to think if there's any way you could build that deck any better. You'd have to find what? At least 4 bounces or 3 bounces in both copies of the thing you're bouncing. And right. You're already running 1.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, even in that situation, you're still having to find.
Those still prospectively only come down, what, turn 3 and turn 4? And then they have to die? And then I have to play them? And then, oh god, that's just so much.
Yeah. And the whole time you're just getting, falling behind really hard on the board against almost every deck in the meta. So I just don't see it happening. It's going to be really interesting to see what people try with that deck. I think ultimately it's just going to fall off and people are going to start playing Miracle Rogue. Yeah,
I tend to agree. All right, so since chat sucks at answering questions, I took the only one that was asked, and it's Salmon asked, when we get knocked out of the playoffs, I've said that if we get knocked off, I'm probably not going to play Hearthstone anymore at all, or in THL. So Salmon wants to know what I'm going to do with my free time. And the question can be answered with simply anything else. I'll be doing anything but Hearthstone, because that just sounds way more fun.
Hockey Boys wants to know what's the memeiest priest deck I can bring this week.
The memeiest priest.
Parker's got a meme for you.
Oh.
Easy. Call it Titanic Priest.
Yep. The fabled Titanic Priest. I've heard you all talk about it, but I have no clue what it is.
Okay, so here's what it is.
I don't think it exists anymore.
Oh, it's still out there. It's a lot harder now, but it's there.
Okay.
So you type in charge, and if it costs less than 5 mana or less, you put all of them in. Everything that's charge. A whole bunch of 1-drops and 2. It's basically like 26 neutral cards with Holy Smites and Mind Blast, and you just play everything that goes face. And you really hope that your opponent just doesn't draw anything that prevents you from going face.
Oh, so that's not quite as Titanic-y.
No, it's not.
Back in the day, we called it Titanic Priest because you had those cards that would damage both players. So, like, both of y'all were going down. It's just somebody was getting off the ship first.
Yep.
Oh, like the Shadow Bomber?
Yeah, you played Shadow.
You had Fire cards, you had the 1-drop, and you just... Parker beat me on ladder with it 1 month when I was, like, rank 2, before we were even friends.
Yeah, both your healths are going down. It's who's getting to 0 first.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I always wondered what Titanic Priest meant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both
everybody's going down.
Everyone's going down. It's who's getting to 0 first.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yep. So that's what you play. I used to get to Legend every month, and I'd just jam in about 50 games of that once I got there. And I ran in some good memes. Sometimes you beat BLPS with it, and he rages. You know. Oh, Tim asked a question.
Here we go.
Are there any rookies that flew under the radar this semester? I think he means season.
Semester?
Season, semester. You know what I mean. You know what he means. Rookies.
semester.
So who's some
Uh,
rookies?
I think the flyest lay is the one.
Yeah, he's.
But I don't think at this point he flew under the radar.
I'm not sure if you haven't heard about him now. Like, whew, I don't know what you're doing. Let's see, rookies that flew under the radar.
Take a look.
I think Blake Hall has had a really solid season. That maybe not a lot of
He's
people.
5-3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For someone
he's
that's
5-3.
new, that's a really solid season in the 3 seed. Especially since he's only like 370 PR, and there's a lot of 3 seeds in this league that are 400 or higher. So I think he had a really impressive rookie season. If you haven't seen or heard of Blake Hall, he's ATL's 3 seed, and he's done really well.
I think another one, DZB had a pretty good season. I mean, he's 485 now.
Yeah.
He's
And if
also
he were to
5-3.
If he were to beat Brewski this week, he'd end 6-3 at 500 PR. I think he would qualify.
Yep.
He's the 1 seed for ATO.
Yep. He had a really solid season too.
I just want to give a shout out to Lefty and Serlos.
Yeah.
They're 5-2 and 5-3. I don't feel like Dirty Mike and the boys has flown under the radar. I think we've kind of given them credit, mostly because of how surprised we were that team style has worked so well. But they've been kind of the core of that group for a while now. Everyone else on the team, Magic Pants and Cody, are both 4-4. I know that. And Eric Koki, is he the last player?
Mm-hmm.
He's 3-3 right now. So the rest of them have been, that whole team is solid. They've been doing really well, but Lefty and Serlos has kind of been the above average group, I would say, and they've kind of been, in terms of their individual performance, kind of been overlooked.
Yeah, I'll say this: Lefty and Serlos both earlier in the season when I was calculating like strength of schedule for their opponents, both of them had really high strength of schedules too, and they were both doing really well. That's something else that would help. All right, Tim, with the last question. What kind of characteristics should captains look for when recruiting new players going into the next season? Cassidy, what do you think about this?
I'm always a big fan of looking for people that your team gets along with. And you want to look for people who have a vision or a goal, kind of, or like a mentality toward THL and Hearthstone aligned with yours. And that's like Team Rank 5, by all of our normal standards, we've had an awful season. But man, dude, we spend as much time together in Discord as anyone. And I think THL is all about the community and the friendships that you form. We're not here to trumpet ourselves as this top level Hearthstone league. We have a lot of damn good players, but that's not what we're about. And so you want your team to be a community, and you want people to get along and share a vision. And if you all share the vision of having a good season, you're probably going to have a good season at least once every couple seasons, even if you have a bad one here or there. So just look for people that are like-minded.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on what your team's looking to do. I think if you sign on to the Hombres, you know that you're looking for something other than a championship there. If you're one to win, don't sign Smoke Salmon. That man doesn't care about Hearthstone at all anymore. I'm just giving him a hard time in the chat. No. I was waiting. There was a little silence there. I thought one of you guys would chime in.
I know how to
and
say
help Barpani for his
characteristics. Eat my
DQ.
ass, Salmon.
No, but Cassidy ultimately is right. It's about what you're looking for on a team. And honestly, I think the biggest deal, I'm not a captain in THL, but I've captained in SHL for 3 seasons now, and just communication with your team. I'm too busy to have actual SHL team meetings, but we're active in our Discord a lot, and we communicate. They know what they're getting into. It's going to be a fairly chill season, and we're just going to go out and have fun, but talk a lot of Hearthstone in our Discord, and it works for us. So really, it's just a matter of finding people who fit that mold for me. When I captain in SHL, so every captain's going to have that sort of different mold, and it's about what you're trying to do. Like Cassidy said, it's not necessarily if you're looking for just to win. You want people who are dedicated to Hearthstone and practicing and stuff like that. If you're looking to have fun, you play with your friends and you joke around and have a good time. And if you're an ombre, you meme it up. So
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all about what you're looking for. If you're looking for a team that just have fun and meme, there's a team out there called the Bad Hombres, and that's all they do. And if you're looking for a team, to like really get down in and try hard, there's plenty of them in this league. Yeah, it's just all about what you want. Like some teams, when they build a team, they just want to play with people that they like. Like I know Salt's talked about it many times. He just wants to play with his friends. He doesn't care how well or bad they do. He obviously enjoys winning, as we all do. But it's not the end of the world if you lose here or there, as long as you're playing with your friends. So when you're looking for players, you got to decide what you want. And if you're looking for players, that you want to improve, or players that are just looking to get better, there's plenty of them out there too. There's players like Detective Diamond who just love to be taught and will listen and very coachable. And then there's people out there that just aren't like that. So it's just all depending on what you're looking for. That's basically it. So that's basically the end of the episode.
no more questions in here.
No more Qs. We have no A's left.
Hmm.
Well, that'll be it. See you next week when we're, half this league's knocked out and only the real shedders are left. Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.